our guys at least trying to do things we had in our game plan that we thought we had to do to give us a chance to win. We felt that if we could not allow them to get a lot of assists, especially Ismail Smith, when he's dishing 6 and 7, 8, and 9 assists, they very seldom ever lose. They have been such a big, strong physical team, and they normally dominate on the offensive boards. And we had to try to do our best to minimize their effectiveness on the boards, and I thought we did a very good job of there. Defensively, obviously, we wanted to hold them to the lowest possible field goal percentage. I thought we did a much better job in the second half. However, it shows that when you play good defense, sometimes when your offense is not really clicking, you give yourself a chance to win. I don't remember being in a game where I've scored a team that we've coached has scored 4 field goals in the second half and we won. But I thought tonight what really made the difference is they were so aggressive, they put us on the foul line and with the necessary free throws down the stretch. I thought that really kept them at bay.
What was the key against Amino? First career game with him not scoring for him.
Well, we didn't really do anything differently now on him other than try to play sound fundamental defense. Sometimes you get into those games, the flow of the game, and I'm not real sure it was anything that we did special other than just try to be as sound fundamentally defensively as we possibly could. Ryan and Chris did a very good job, but I think overall, when he had some opportunities, I think it was a big team defensive effort.
They started him at the 3, right?
Right.
Were you weren't expecting that?
But I was a little surprised that they moved him to the 3, but in every game, they would have that lineup on the court for stretches. So it wasn't like that's something that they had not been doing throughout the year. I guess tonight they decided they wanted to go a little bigger and start a big lineup. And obviously, it's pretty effective in the first half because it was a very close game for most of the first half.
I know they, you switch it up defensively some, but Chris started out on him and played him a good bit. Just talk about Chris's defense again. He shut down Landisburg. He stripped the ball from Amino a couple times.
Well, Chris takes an awful lot of pride in his defense, and in many cases, you don't really sometimes stop a guy like him because he had an effect on the game. His physicality, he kept some balls alive. He got rebounds in there. And, he executed the offense. I thought he played very unselfish. I thought he moved the ball and set screens. He played with the assistant. I'm just glad that we were able to hold him down a little bit because he's been averaging a double-double. He's a handful. And I thought the guys did a very good job of at least slowing him down.
You talk about Xavier's game tonight. He hit 2 big buckets in both halves to kind of you guys got.
Well, I think Xavier now is just getting to the point where he's playing with a level of confidence that I think comes with becoming, getting more experience, learning more about the game, learning how to utilize his talents in relation to our offense. He's been doing a lot of extra work after practice, before practice. He's been listening and watching films, and I think that he's just kind of figuring out how he needs to play in order for us to be successful. And normally when he gets 8 to 10 points, we're a lot better off. And tonight, he made some really key numbers for us. Really, it's something that's a very critical part of the game, especially in the first half when he hit those 2 3s.
You're kind of waiting on this, right? I mean, you've talked about, you've been eyeing Xavier from the minute he got here. You've been kind of waiting for.
Yeah, I really don't think he's even tapped. I don't think he's come close to tapping his potential yet. He's just finding his way. He's a 6'11" guy that's a finesse player that now has to get bigger and stronger to be a little more physical inside. And I think now he's coming around. He's a lot stronger, more physical, and he still has his skills, perimeter skills, and his agility to get around and maneuver inside against bigger, stronger guys. I think as he continues to grow and learn, I think he's going to be an outstanding player for us. No doubt about that.
I know you've said you don't know what the criteria is for the tournament, but regardless of that, this has to be big for that.
No doubt that moving us closer to whatever that criteria is. that moving target. But on a serious note, we can enjoy this for a little bit, but we realize that the Miami game now takes on tremendous amount of importance. There have been a lot of teams left out of the tournament in '97. We're not going to take anything for granted, namely us. So having an opportunity to compete now for hopefully a high seed and maybe get that first round bye is what we're playing for it. And I really feel confident if you win 10 games in our league, more than likely that'll give you a bid to the NCAA. It would be nice to go to the ACC tournament where you just pin your ears back and concentrate on playing for the ACC championship and not have the added pressure of having to win a number of games to get to the NCAA.
Leonard Michael's only a freshman, but is there anybody you'd rather have up there with 4 seconds left?
Well, he's a cool customer, there's no doubt about that. He's very confident. He spends an awful lot of time working on his free throw, as much as anyone on our team. At the end of practice, he'll grab one of the managers and he'll get a lot of free throws up after practice. And I think that gives you a certain level of confidence when you make those free throws over and over in practice like that. Mentally, you're able to put yourself in that moment on the court. And obviously, he stepped up tonight and made some big free throws. He's 6 for 6, and that's outstanding for a freshman.
Let me talk about the upcoming tournament. What's your assessment of where everybody is right now? Is it just Duke and everybody else, or what?
Well, I'm not real sure you can say it's Duke and everybody else because they play some teams that have given them a run for their money. I think that Duke probably has a little more experience. And I think Mike has done a tremendous job with his team this year. But I'm not real sure I can say anyone's a favorite. Duke probably has a little bit of a head. They've been the most consistent team in our league this year. There's no question about that. They got some veterans that are giving them great decision making and making big shots. They're defending very well. And they've been avoiding a lot of injuries. So you got to give them the nod. But once we get to the tournament, I'd say it's something great.
There's such a logjam from the 3 spot on down. So many guys that can finish with 9-10 wins in the league right now.
Well, I think I said 4 or 5 years ago that you're going to see this whole thing in our league turn upside down. And I've been in these situations before in other conferences. And I think what you're going to see is from top to bottom, the ACC is going to be a battle every game. And I think that's good. See, I think that, but I think for whatever reason, there's a mystique out there that if you don't have 1 or 2 teams dominating everyone else, your conference is not very good, and I think it's going to be the opposite. I think hopefully, once we get to the NCAA tournament, you'll see some teams step up and really play well.
You think, given the competitive nature of the league, with just how closely contested every game is, your guys' run to the championship game last year gives you guys a little bit of an advantage, or at least from a confidence standpoint, an advantage heading into the tournament?
Well, you still have to understand, we still are growing as a team. We're based on the freshman sophomore team with one scholarship senior. I think we're learning and growing. I think there'll be some residual effect or some pluses by playing in the championship game last year. But this is a different team, different day, different challenges. And unfortunately, we won't be able to use any of those points and rebounds. You got to go out now and face different opponents who will be just as hungry in that tournament. So let's hope that it does, but I'm not real sure I'll count on it. It's a new day.
Will they loan you Tony for like a weekend?
No, I'm sure he'd like to be back. But a lot of heroes tonight. But this is probably as close to a team victory. A lot of guys made some big free throws. They made big shots. We had a couple of blocks there that I thought made a difference. It's great. Got our hands on some balls, got some steals. I thought that in the first half we got some deflections and got out and got some easy baskets. It kind of gave us a little separation. Unfortunately, that foul, that 3-point, those 3 free throws at the end of the half kind of maybe have a little flashback to play that happened in the Clemson game, but we were able to overcome. I'm very proud of these guys.